All right, what is up, guys? We are back here in the garage. I'm gonna show you what I've been working on all week long. Not really that long, but the thing about building a car is, or building cars in general, for me, is you don't buy what you need until you know you need it, and or you don't realize that you don't have something. And so I've had the low dollar, like a combination sensor for a long time, and was going to put it in the lower port of the transmission, or in the servo cover, I believe is what it's called, and that would give me line pressure and temperature. But then I was like, I need that for converted charge pressure, so I put that in, and then I went ahead and got back on Scarlett Solutions and bought another sensor, and then realized that I don't have any of the three-prong connectors for that, so now I'm still waiting on some stuff because I need two sensors. But I'll show you what I did here. I took some weather pack connectors off of the car that my buddy put on, and I swapped them over to this DT connectors from Scarlett Solutions, and wired both sensors, or well, one sensor into both spares that I already had. I'll show you what I got going on here. So this is what we had before, right here. Actually, just two. They were two male plugs, or these right here actually. Took those off, wired these in, bada bing, bada boom. Gotta say, for me, the DT connectors are absolutely amazing. They work extremely well. I have got to, other than me crimping the wrong side, let's see, do I have one here? I don't have one. I crimped the wrong side of the female connector at first. So we got that ran through the grommet. It is going down to a 6 AM pressure adapter in the car, and I'll show you here in just a second how we got it wired or figured up in the Holley. My guy who went ahead and actually wired these, everything is wired in into this. I think this is my J2A plug, and so just for reference, certain plugs will not do a thermistor. So I had to change this from the A24 pin to the A28, I believe it is. And this is very simple. The large pin, or the large push in right here, this big white one, push it up, those two pop up, and then you can pull all the pins out that you need to, and repin these connectors. It's extremely easy. And then when you push it in, these push down, and if these can't push down, then you obviously don't have the wires in all the way. It's a very, even my idiot self can do this. Super duper simple. So, and then plug that back in. I'll show you in the Holley here in just a second how we configure those, or how you make them work. Very simple, very straightforward, and makes things work. I'll show you here in just a second. So I just realized I didn't tell you, why are we doing this? Why am I worrying about pressure sensors? What's going on? So obviously, the last go around, we have issues. We are hitting the rev limiter 3.9 seconds into the run. Obviously that is killer, and kills the top end. And we lost like what, 5 miles an hour, went from 144 to 139, going from Elk Creek to Shadyside, which technically should have had more mile an hour at Shadyside. Pretty crazy. It is on the exact same tune-up. I thought maybe I had reverted it back and we didn't have enough boost pressure. We had 35 pounds of boost, which is plenty to go what we were wanting to go. And so went back. I did find the data log. I thought I'm gonna have to delete the data logs after every pass. I've got to do that, because then it put that data log down in the bottom somewhere. Thankfully, I did download it, and I thought it was an old data log because of how bad the slip was. And so looked at it and was like, that's not it, whatever. And then was like, oh, I lost it. Well, I didn't lose it, just wasn't in line. So then we're like, all right, there's obviously an issue. Talk with Pete at Circle D, and I don't have those sensors on the transmission for the converted charge pressure. So that's what we're checking now, is converted charge pressure, and I have one of the Scarlett Solutions sensors in the port for line pressure, but I have to wire that one completely in. And I thought that I had a sensor plug for it, and it's similar to this right here. See this plug right here? That plug. But I do not have one. I thought I had some spares, but I think the thing is we may have gotten rid of those, or not got rid of, but used them. The only one that I have is this here, and that is a coolant temperature one. That's just the little 2-prong one. So that one will not work. And I've looked everywhere in all of my stuff for them, and I don't see them. And yeah, so I've got to wire that so that I'll have line pressure, but we're pretty sure that that's good. I have a feeling, unfortunately, I think it's just time for a rebuild on transmission. You know, we weren't really pushing it that hard for the last 2 years, so I was not really too concerned about it. But when you up the boost, and you know, I wasn't extremely happy with the horsepower that it made on the dyno. I'm starting to wonder if there's a possibility it was slipping at that time, and then we're not seeing the dyno readings. You know, it made 1200 on way more boost. And I'm just wondering now if maybe that was our issue, that it was slipping on the dyno, and that it didn't make the power that, you know, I thought it should have made 1300, 1400, and it didn't make that because of that. So that's what I think's going on. The unfortunate side of that is that I have to pull the freaking transmission again. And I really, really don't want to do that, but it is what it is. So let me go grab the laptop. I've had it charging for like 15 minutes. I'll bring it down here and I'll show you how I configured these sensors on the Holley, and then I'm going to show you on the dash, and we're going to start this thing up and see what our line or our converted charge pressure is. So let's get to it. All right, so I don't know how this will do, and this is going to be a little difficult holding this. Hopefully you guys can see it. So how do we get these we got these new sensors. What do we do? There's a lot of videos out there. I would recommend going to Devin Vanderhoof's channel. You can check Turbo John's, but I'm just going to show you what I did. Inputs, outputs, very simple here. I've got my line pressure, which is a 5 volt. Let's see if we can show that here. Line pressure 5 volt. I have it in the J2A23. It's very simple. So like if we're going to let's do a new one here. I don't know what we want to call it. Well, let's just that one's line pressure. That one actually needs to be, converter charge pressure. Charge pressure. So let's do one, and we'll call it line pressure. And we're going to enable it so that we can do it. It's not defined. It would be considered a 5 volt. Okay, so we're going to configure it. Go down here. We're going to do a custom pressure. 0, let's see here, format PSI, sensor max, let's just say, 500, or let's just 300. Right there. And then down here on this you know, 300 is going to be your max. If you right click it, you can fill those row values. So hopefully you can see this, and I'm not just going crazy over here. And then on the voltage down here, this side is going to be 4.5. And obviously make sure that these all line up with your you know, that this graph is what is with your sensor, but that's pretty much it right there. So if we go back to our inputs and outputs, go to that, it says where used. Line pressure is not in use because it is not defined. So what we would do is go here to the pin map and see you have line pressure here. And then when you wire, let's see here, let me show it to you. We have line pressure and they're unassigned inputs. So then I've got all these inputs, J2, J3, any of these. So when I wire it in, let's say I wire it into pin J2, and all of these are 5 volts, so those would all work. So like we go to A6 and we wire it in, then we just drag line pressure from up here. We pull it down to, where's A6 at? Here. And then there it is, line pressure. It's that simple. And then that will then data log it, or you know, that's going to be taking in that information from that sensor. All right, so now that is where we need it to be. So I have this, we have the 2 new ones here, the charge pressure and trans temp. I'm going to go into the car and show you how I now have it on my dash, is how we're going to watch it today. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and pull a data log from me running it. I didn't get to run it very long because it was very late. So let's turn the car on and then we'll go from there. See what we can do. All right, real quick, brief intermission. GoPro Hero 11 Black giveaway. I've got 2 of these I'm giving away. Get in those merch. I've already put an order in for merch. It is on its way, so you will have less of a wait time. So hopefully I'll be shipping those out within the next 3 weeks or so. So get in on it. Every merch purchase on the website gets you entered for a chance to win one of these 2 GoPros. Help me out. I'd like to see more merch get bought. This is actually less merch than the last time that I dropped this, even though I'm giving stuff away. I don't know how that's possible, but I just like to give away to other people. This is my first time doing something, so get in on that. You're gonna get SD cards, you're gonna have everything to go ahead and put this on your car or your boat or your motorcycle and record, make your own YouTube. So let's do it. All right, back to the regular scheduled programming. There's always something. And I don't know if you noticed at the end of the last time, we had a little bit of smoky smoke coming out of this exhaust pipe. Looks like maybe I have a head gasket seeping pretty good. In fact, it was enough that this deal almost locked up whenever I went to start it. The starter wouldn't turn it. I was like, wow, that's a lot of seepage. So that means that we're gonna have to pull this head, most likely, that head, and reseal it. Yay me, so excited for that. So I'm gonna have to do that, it looks like. Got on the trans brake, and I'll show you what we got on the data log. So let's pull the data log and then we'll go from there. All right, so here we are. Here's our two-step right here. You can see we got good pressure and then it drops off. So I don't know if this is a fill problem. Maybe we need more fluid. I put another quart of fluid in here. Let's see what our pressure got up to here. We're at 162. It climbs to 173. And then slowly, as it's on the brake, it tapers off. And then whenever I let off of the throttle, it drops to 82 pounds. And I'm still in gear here. 82, 77, 75. So, yeah, I don't know anything about the way it should be acting. So if I open up the log after the converter comes back down, it's got a second log here because I only did it for us. And you can see this is all in gear. And we are, let's see here. We are 0% throttle. You know, idling is 55, 56, 56. It just stays there. And I think this is whenever I put it into neutral, it drops down, blips down to what, 30 something, 10, 50, 49, 47. So it's I don't know exactly what. But I'm going to give this information to Circle D. I did put another quart of transmission fluid in it. It's very difficult to see, and but yep. All right. Where'd my hat go? Holy crap! So we found, or I've got. We got a data log. We're going to send it to Circle D. I don't know enough about the transmission. Everything seems fine to me. I think there's a possibility the high gear clutches are just wore out. That's what it seems like. I'm going to send that info over to them. Looks like I'm going to have to pull this head and reseal this thing sometime this week. And then I don't know yet. This sort of sucks, guys. I'm not going to lie. I don't really know exactly which way to go with it. Obviously need to pull the head. Looks like I need to pull the transmission and get it taken off. And you know, if I do that, I could take it and they can put it on a transmission dyno and check all that stuff. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I really don't want to do that on the ground again, so need to go put on the lift to pull the transmission. Yeah, let me show you something real quick that I got. I'm excited about these. I've had them for a while. I sent the centers off to be polished, which, by the way, if you're looking in the market for some drag wheels, I am a Kaiser wheels dealer. Proudly love their stuff, and that's the 4-lug wheels on the car. So these are what we've got now. I did some 15 by 13s. We're gonna, those are some hosses, and I do have a set of Mickey Thompson 3055 S's that we're gonna put on the car for the for front side stuff. So that's the plan. I'm gonna get those on if I'm ever able to actually go racing again. That's the plan. So Yep, sounds all well and good and fun, and I guess this week it won't take me too much. I've got to make sure that I've got intake manifold gaskets, but I'll go ahead and get this head pulled off. Sorry about the lighting, and get it resealed. I mean, or I just run no water, whichever one. You hear the cricket? Probably not. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys. So we think we have a transmission issue. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Got some new sensors installed, and I'm going to be wiring up all kinds of sensors now that I have this new DTM connector kit. Should help me get some, well, not really, because I got to learn how to. I hate weather pack connectors, I ain't gonna lie. I'm just not good at them. I'm sure I'll learn if I had the right tools. I should be able to get that taken care of. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Do appreciate it. Appreciate watching. Go get it in on the giveaway with the merch. So I've got some extra shirts ordered for the pre-order. So hopefully I got your sizes. So, all right, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks. Peace.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, yeah. For the